Hi, my name is Mr. Smith. I'm so honored to introduce myself to you as your new literacy teacher. And just to give you a little bit about myself, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, home of the Ravens. And I also went to Baltimore City College. This is a close-up of my high school ring in high school. And I currently attend Gettysburg College on the beautiful Gettysburg campus and battlefield area. I just wanted to talk a little bit about myself before I get into what's going to actually happen when we actually meet and have class. I love music. I'm a music major, and I thoroughly believe that you can teach literacy. That means written language, spoken language, all together with music's ability to connect different subject areas and make it more comfortable and more engaging for you. So that's pretty much about me. I love doing anything. I love going to the gym. I love swimming. I love playing baseball. I just love having a fun time. So that's pretty much who I am. Now, as your teacher, it is very important for me to set expectations, not only for you, but also for me. My expectations of you, is to be on time, is to be ready to learn, is to open your mind to new ways of thinking and sharing your old ways of thinking so that it might benefit the classroom environment. And just as I have expectations for you, I also have expectations of myself. I expect myself to be there to assist you through your learning processes. I also am there to assist you through your development, both in reading, writing, speaking, thinking, viewing, and just all these other means of absorbing great literature and listening to great music. Now, I also expect for myself to give you the best feedback possible. Instead of just me having you figure it out all for yourself all the time, which I thoroughly do agree with, you figuring out the answer first before you come to me, I'm there to guide you through the process, to think aloud and to help you through your process of really honing your skills and really figuring out who you are within what you're doing and what you're learning. And I also expect you to have expectations of me. You should expect me to give you great feedback, to give you, to be there as a support system, and to also be there to be someone who's going to be critical of what you are doing and someone who is going to enhance what you're doing. And that goes into the next thing I want to talk about community involvement, both inside the classroom and outside the classroom. Oftentimes we think a classroom is just a classroom. It's a separate entity for when we go home in our communities. But in all actuality, a school is just like a community. It has this community leader, our principal, and our teachers. And it also has our community folks, you guys, those who make the community thrive, make it work. And in order for our community to work within our classroom, you have to understand that you have to respect everyone. You have to be open-minded enough to accept new ideas and to understand different people and different belief systems, because we don't all believe in the same thing, but we can all get along together if we do. That's what makes a great community. People getting along together. And you have to continue this community that you're forming with your classmates and your teachers and your principal into your own community, into your own families, encouraging them to learn, encouraging them to cooperate and to do collaborations and to understand each other, understand that we might not all believe in the same thing, but we can all get along nonetheless. And this is what I'm really gearing towards. All of these things I've been talking about, community involvement, your expectations and my expectations, it's the accountability model that I thoroughly believe in. This model is in which you and myself, we are both accountable for your learning, yes, but you are also just as accountable for your own learning as an individual. just like I am accountable for my own teaching and my own learning as an individual. We are all still a community here, and a community is there to aid you and to guide you to the next step. But you're still an individual nonetheless, just like I am, and we still have to hold ourselves accountable at the end of the day. So that means if you know you have to do this assignment that I have given you, and I've given you a week to do it, that means you need to work on it for a week and turn it in at the given time. Because I'm going to hold you accountable for doing that. Just like you're going to hold me accountable for grading it in a decent amount of time with all the students I will have, I want you to do it and turn it in within a reasonable amount of time, and to not only do that, but to really be insightful in your learning. Not just stating the obvious, but sometimes digging deep and finding something that's more inspirational under all of the facts we already know on Wikipedia or things like that. But Wikipedia is a great site. The next thing is that I really want to help you all foster positive changes. What does that mean, Mr. Smith? You're probably asking. Fostering positive changes. That means I want you to look deep within yourself and to find out through all the things that we are learning, through poetry, through short stories, through novels, through fiction and nonfiction, and a bunch of other styles, how do you relate to those characters? How do you relate to those stories? How do they relate to your life? And how can you use the messages, the themes, the morals that were taught in those narratives and share them to make positive changes within your school community and within your home community? That is exactly what I mean. Bridging those gaps between literature and music and bringing it into your communities and inspiring positive changes, because there are a lot of negative things around us these days. But we as students and as a teacher and as a whole community as a whole, school and home communities, we can make these changes happen if we only pay attention to what the authors and the musicians that we have listened and learned and wrote about and read about. If we take their lessons seriously and try to really make this change happen. And I've been hinting around this as well, about the role of music within literacy. Music aids just as much in literacy as language-based literacy, because music, there are a lot of languages. There's Italian, German, you name it. There are hundreds of different languages in the world, and music has a place in all of those languages. So if you can understand basic music concepts like rhythm and pitch, you can understand tonality, which is a much more difficult thing. You can see and feel how an author or a musician or a composer felt while they were writing a piece. You can understand where they're coming from and how they're fostering these positive changes. You can understand how they've held themselves accountable for what they have done. You can understand that they had expectations of themselves and the musicians that will be playing their music, or the libretto score writers who would write the words to the music of instrumental composers. You can understand that their communities were a part of this. They foster changes in their communities through their music, and their community foster changes in them to write the music, to share these messages, to share these morals. And I'm a firm believer that I can bring that to you. If you have any questions about what I just said, it was a lot, but I'm sure you will understand that what I am saying is beneficial to you and myself and all of us in our soon-to-be community. It is time that we really stand up for what we believe in, and it is time for us to accept others for who they are and not what they do all the time. And it is time for us to grow as individuals and as community members through literacy. Language is power. Understanding how to use your words and understanding how to read and critically analyze what you're reading is crucial in the first steps in beginning to really become a global citizen and really become a greater human being. I'm so grateful I have a chance to share this with you, and I hope to see you very soon. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.